Welcome to the Everyday Life podcast with myself, Dave Clark, and instead of my assistant Elliot, today we are live in London for the Dullmen's Club meeting and unveiling the anorak of the year for 2024. And today, with me, special guest is Tim Webb, who was the anorak of the year in 2023 for his pothole art. So let's get straight in. Hello, Tim.
Hello there, David. Thanks for inviting me onto your podcast. Well, a privilege, and I'll try to keep it reasonably dull.
Yes. Well, tell you what is pothole art?
Oh, that's a very deep and profound question you're asking me there. I never intended to ever get into pothole art. I suppose it started off when a local council official suggested I put plastic ducks in potholes.
Right.
Which is great in the winter time.
Yeah.
When you've got water-filled potholes.
Right.
And
then I guess you had to find something else for the drier months.
Yes, and then strange enough, not all the potholes were cleared up. So there were some that would be living on. And that's the expression we can use, living on until the summer months.
Yep.
And I realised it's a bit silly putting a plastic duck in a dry pothole.
Yes.
So then I got inspiration from two places.
Right.
A lady called Juliet, who lives down in Hastings Way.
Right.
And she did Cindy dolls in all kinds of poses connected to a pothole.
Yeah.
And another guy who was a real inspiration was a guy in Brightlingsea.
Right. Yeah.
Who then did what he calls pothole dioramas. He would set out and tell a story around a particular pothole, and he would place objects in there and tell a whole story as to why these objects were in there.
And so you basically got inspiration from that.
That's right.
When you first started.
That's right. And so I suppose for me, I never intended to be a pothole artist, but I sort of enjoyed it because I was able to put little touches in there. So, for example, I would have the BR6 tow truck, which would be towing cars out of a pothole.
Yeah. So Tim in his bag here. Yeah, for the listeners, he's got an actual toy car, toy tow truck for an example of what he does.
And the idea being, this is where the pothole artist this is where I take it seriously, okay?
Yes.
I say tongue in cheek, because I was very fortunate. I live in Orpington, and the postcode begins BR6. And then I've got a tow truck, which happens to have BR6 on the side.
Is that a coincidence?
That's what
I total coincidence.
Yes, what I do, at the time, I don't do it so much now. Yeah. I was sourcing my material from WhatsApp groups.
Right,
so I got people donate me plastic ducks. Noah's Ark was a disaster. Can I go into Noah's Ark?
Yeah, you can do.
Noah's Ark is a disaster.
You have all sorts. I mean, I've seen a lot of your pictures of your pothole art, of the items that you use to put in the potholes. They're amazing, aren't they? You go to car boot sales, you get these little toy figures.
That's right.
Charity shops, all sorts of stuff.
Yes, it would be three main sources. Charity shops is a good one.
Yep.
It would be car boot sales, because you never know what you're going to find. I think car boot sales are a great topic in their own right. I just love car boot sales. And finally, WhatsApp groups. I put a request out, for example, when the pothole season was in early spring, you had water-filled potholes. The potholes would then dry out. Ducks were out. So I then started having a tow truck to tow cars out of the top of the hole. Not a real tow truck, but the BR6 tow truck. Put it on Facebook, and people seem to appreciate my humour. And the little touches, to me, it's the little details that go in there. And I went on to Noah's Ark. Now, Noah's Ark's a dull one, because I didn't realise there were two types of Noah's Ark. Now, people may be fascinated or bored by this. I hope bored by this.
No.
Okay, because I thought the theory being Noah's Ark, let's say for argument's sake, was for argument's sake, let's say Noah's got his ark with animals on board. The pothole dries out after 40 days and 40 nights. The Noah's Ark is still in the pothole, so the tow truck would then tow Noah's Ark out the pothole onto dry land.
That's amazing.
Yes, but the problem with Noah's Ark, I didn't realise a lot of Noah's Ark toys, they fall into the wooden Noah's Ark or the plastic Noah's Ark. They don't float. No. I assumed if you bought a Noah's Ark, it would float. So I've tested it in the bath and they sink. I tested it in potholes, and provided it's not too deep, the Noah's Ark shouldn't sink that much. But I discovered never buy a wooden Noah's Ark and put it in the bath.
I suppose you've learned from that error then, haven't you?
Which was a basic error.
Yeah, exactly.
You would have thought a
Anything
Noah's
can
Ark
happen
would
like
float.
that.
Yeah.
And of course, all of your displays, they all have a little theme, don't they? Or there's a little story attached to them. I remember there was one, did you have some Star Wars figures in a pothole to highlight that problem as well?
Yes, I did Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Because
Doctor
there
Who
was
as
a
well.
local guy who had some Doctor Who figures, and I was very fortunate because a local road with potholes got closed off.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and it's like, so I could then set up Doctor Who and the Daleks and the Cybermen around the pothole.
That's amazing.
That wasn't too popular.
Yeah.
The most popular one I did was a cauliflower with a rocket coming out of it, a rocket launch, in a pothole.
That's amazing. Have you got your own personal favourite, what you've done? And
my personal favourite...
all of them.
Oh, it's a bit like saying, what's your favourite pothole?
Yeah.
I've got several favourites, which have, strangely enough, wasn't that popular.
No.
I thought I'd go a bit artistic, a bit arty, which is a big mistake. And I'm sure people have heard of Jackson Pollock with his flicking his paintbrush. And I did a pothole based upon the work. If Jackson Pollock was there flicking paint in a pothole, I thought it would be popular, and it wasn't.
Oh.
That was a big mistake. That was my favourite. My other favourite would be the lighthouse one, which I think I've got here somewhere, whereby if you have a pothole, if you have a lighthouse in a pothole, the idea being during the daytime.
So it's got some photos here. Yeah. There's an actual photo. Yeah, that's a very wet pothole, filled up with water. It's got a lighthouse in the middle and a fence going around the pothole. Yeah, and 3 little Playmobil figures. They look like.
That's right.
Outside
they are
of the fence.
The idea being is they built a lighthouse. The reason being, there's some logic behind this because during the daytime, it's relatively easy to spot a pothole. At night time, they might catch you out. So the idea was, I said this to Bromley, for some reason it didn't fly the idea. No. That if they put miniature lighthouses that came on at night, illuminating the potholes.
That's true. And then I can see people. Exactly.
Now, for some reason, inexplicable, don't ask me why, it never came about then. I don't understand it.
So, how long do you leave the figures or whatever you've got in the potholes for? Is it just to take the photo, or do you leave them in there?
Oh, no. The idea being, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye.
Yep.
It's not just going to a pothole and plonking a figure in it.
No.
I planned with a neighbour of mine called Mick.
Yep.
What we have to do, we have to choose a quiet time of day.
Yep.
He would be my lookout man or my wing man. I would then put this is sad. This is boring. What we would do, we'd have a table like this.
Yep.
We'd set it out. We'd then do this on a table at home.
Okay.
Work out the placing of the figures, how we're going to do it. So when we go to the pothole, it's a quick, literally, a 30-second or minute job, because this would have been all practiced beforehand.
Right, okay.
I then do this, because the idea being, you can't leave the figures there.
No, of course
not. You have to make sure that you're working in a safe environment, where my high-vis jacket, so literally, they'd be there for under a minute. So the planning is what takes the time.
Yes, I can imagine. This is the... And what sort of reaction do you get from the public when you post this? What places, what platforms do you post your pothole art on to highlight that pothole and to highlight that problem?
It varies. I would put it in various Facebook groups.
Yep.
And I found that there are some Facebook groups or communities that seem to appreciate what I do. One of them would be the Beckenham Appreciation Group. They seem to get it. For some reason, I'm popular in New Zealand.
Right.
In the north, a lot of expats in New Zealand appreciate the quirky British humour. Other Facebook groups, like my local Orpington one, it goes like a lead balloon. And so I find that some people seem to get it, some people don't.
Yeah, a bit of a mix. Is there the ultimate? Is there have you noticed it's working with your pothole art? Bringing those potholes to the council's attention, has it made an improvement?
I think it has. Now, the thing I would say, it's very difficult to quantify. It doesn't mean that if I put a lighthouse in a pothole, I don't leave it there, obviously, it doesn't mean that pothole will get solved any quicker. So it's difficult to prove. But there was one case, I think this is when I went to in Penge was a massive bloody pothole near Christmas.
Yep.
I put a lighthouse with tinsel on it. Did a man rowing towards the lighthouse. This is rowing home for Christmas.
Okay.
This is a tribute to the dear departed Chris Rea, driving home for Christmas. And that one there went viral, and it prompted the council. There's a problem been there for months. So in a week of me publishing that on Facebook, it was sorted.
That's amazing. I
would say it does make a difference, but I cannot say for every single piece of pothole I've done, it means it's sorted that.
It's sort of hit and miss. Some get done quicker than maybe they normally would. And of course, potholes in general, they can do major damage.
They do.
And probably it's worse at night. Maybe in the daytime. Even in the daytime, it can be hard to avoid them, can't it?
Yes, there are. I was being interviewed last week on ITN News, and the problems with potholes, because I've changed tack now, because there's a danger that I don't mean trivialising it, because there's a very fine line between the humour and I'm not trying to dismiss it as a serious issue. So that's what you're saying.
It's a bit of it's a tongue-in-cheek way.
Yes, however,
of highlighting the pothole problems.
Yes, but then I was advised to change direction. So what I do now is I go out and measure them.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Post the measurements online with a photograph with my boot for sale.
Okay.
Boot for scale.
Yep.
And then what I've done now is I've moved away from the pothole line into a more serious approach, which is measuring the pothole. So one this morning I went to, which was 100 inches by 23 inches, 2 inches deep.
Amazing.
And it's not been reported, so I went on to Fix My Street, reported it, put a photograph in there and put the measurements in there. And there was one I visited last week, and I was checking to see how much the pothole had grown since last week. And that's what I've moved towards. It's towards a more serious approach, because when it comes
just
on
tweaked it slightly almost. You tweaked your initial approach to what you're doing now.
That's right.
And it's great what you come in as well. You came with all the gear. You came with your high-vis coat, your measure as well, and everything, and all your facts and your figures, and your little book.
And the other thing I would say, to answer your question on the dangers, because I was filming this week in a place called Green Street. Filming this week, place called Green Street Green, not by Warpington, standing by the curbside, water-filled pothole, and the dangers are, one, it's the danger to motorists.
Yes,
cyclists or motorcyclists could come off. And thirdly, if you're on the pavement and a car goes by a water-filled pothole, you're going to get drenched.
Andrew.
So we're standing, got absolutely drenched, because as a pedestrian, you can get drenched by the water. The chippings that come up could hit or could slip on the pavement. So the impact is not just the drivers, but it's people walking by.
Yes, so I've
got soaked through several times, which is why I wear my high vis. And I don't wear this hat. I wouldn't wear my Dolmens hat.
We're sitting here, me and Tim, we've got a classic Dolmens Club cap on, haven't we? And of course, you being a former anorak of the year, 2023, when I was 2022, with Dustbin Day. With the potholes, I mean, why is there so many about? Any idea why see just so many about?
I can tell you in a nutshell why there's so many. I think it's down to at least 3 reasons. Right. Number one is that there are always going to be potholes about, particularly on busy bus routes or busy traffic routes. And the problem is that these potholes don't always get dealt with right away, so they get worse. They'll make a temporary fix just to make the carriageway safe and serviceable. That will then fail, and so another temporary fix before the permanent pothole appears. It's down to the weather, and also I believe with some councils they've got a backlog of work, which they never, in the summer months, they never get down to zero. And then in the winter months, the numbers will go up, because the recent ice and snow has meant where there are cracks in the road, the snow and the ice gets in, they freeze, and so this is now the main pothole season. This is the busiest time of year for pothole anoraks like myself, and there are, unfortunately, this is a sad thing. Unfortunately, it's picking.
You're doing a fantastic job there, Tim, getting it out there, getting potholes noticed and hopefully fixed as well. And
it's very difficult though, because when you say fixing, what happens is the contractors they use get such a backlog of work. It means a lot of them don't get fixed. And I've got one in Orpington
There must be something been waiting so long.
Yeah, they've got ones go back to July.
Massive backlogs.
Massive backlog, yeah. And it's due to, I think, the fact is that they've only got a finite number of crews in the area they can use, and there's only so many potholes the crew or gang of contractors can fix in one day.
Well, you're a fantastic job anyway, Tim. And of course, what else was it? And of course, with your pothole art, if anyone wants to have a look at it, have you got like a Facebook page, a platform where people can view it, or is it on YouTube?
I've deliberately avoided that because I might end up with people trying to say, and can you report this pothole? So if they want to see examples, go on to Facebook, into the Beckenham Appreciation Group, and there you will find the best of the worst potholes in my area.
That's the best one, then, folks. If you want to have a look at Tim's excellent pothole art, Beckenham
Appreciation Group
on Facebook. Yeah. Check them out on there. You'll see some great photos. Well, Tim, thanks a lot for that interview.
And thanks very much, and carry on the good work.
We're going to see what we can find next. Well, here we go with another guest from the Dullness Club, and he's wearing his Dullness Club cap, the brand new one actually.
That's right, yeah.
So welcome, Harry Seager.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Yep, I'm good, thanks. Well, Harry, to the listener, or listeners, if we're lucky today, you found something, didn't you?
Yeah.
You found something which went very...
It went insanely viral. It was just meant to be a jokey post.
Yes.
And then I checked it and it had something like 2,000 likes, and I checked it again and it had something like 15,000.
This item, what you found, it's to do with confectionery, isn't it?
It is to do with confectionery, yeah.
What did you find?
So do you want me to go into how I found it?
Yes, okay. Yeah,
okay, please. So I was going to the 2024 Classic Car Show at the NEC in Birmingham.
Right, as you do.
Yeah, as you do. Got picked up by my mates in an old Leyland Leopard bus.
Yep.
Stopped at the Tame service station for a bit of diesel and some snacks.
Something up.
So I got a cup of Costa coffee and I got a Mars bar.
Yep.
Got on the bus, sort of on the M25 or near the M40. Sorry, near the M40. Pulled the Mars bar out and I thought, this looks a bit weird. It's smooth, and I said to my mate, "What? These are meant to be rippled, aren't they? Yes. They're meant to have a ripple on." And he was like, yeah, they are. And I thought nothing of it, and he said, "Why don't you take a picture of it?" So I have him to thank, really. I took a picture of it, and the iconic picture that you'll be able to remember is the packet with the Mars bar half pulled out, and the wooden floor with the rust underneath it.
Yeah, see, haven't you?
That's right, I have. Yeah.
What happened? When you saw that smooth, did you leave it, or did you eat it?
That's a funny thing. I took the picture, ate it, instantly forgot it ever happened.
Right.
Sitting on the tube into London the next day, going to work, and I saw the picture and I was like, yes, Dull Men's Club. They will love it.
With the Dull Men's Club as well, it's like celebrating the ordinary things in life.
That's right, yeah.
So that Mars bar was actually perfect to find one.
Without the ripple. Long gone, obviously, ate it at the time, put it up, it blew up, and I could not believe how much it blew up. I got a phone call from someone in Australia who I know, who said, you're in the news in Australia, right? And I was like, what?
That went
Australia, America. I was on Indian radio. I was on radio in Australia.
I think that was a very, very rare. It happened to have a smooth Mars bar, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. And I actually, so a lot of people messaged me saying, "Oh, you complained and you this, that, and the other." And I didn't. I emailed Mars because I knew that the Dull Men's Club would love a story to go with the picture, and I thought, what would be great is if I could then write up a bit of spiel about how they put the ripple on top.
Yep.
Case closed. And they wouldn't tell me. I found out later in the comments how it's done, but they wouldn't tell me. Mars wouldn't tell me. They just palmed me off with a £2 voucher, which I brought with me, framed.
I had to read that. That's really interesting, isn't it? And the £2 voucher. You've usually got a £2 voucher back.
A £2 voucher, which I could have used for a 3-pack of Mars bars.
You could have done. And of course, like we said earlier, the Marses themselves, they're so small now as well, aren't they, compared to how they used to be. I remember back in the day, twice the size of that one, with all the ripples.
That's right, yeah.
So, finding that one, the size it was, and totally smooth, must have been a total shock, really.
I wouldn't say I was that. I just thought in my head, it's just a production thing. Part of me thought maybe it's a cost-cutting measure, but then I thought most likely it's a production thing. And honestly, everyone says that I was shocked, I was appalled, I was this, that, and the other. I wasn't. I literally looked at it.
What about the taste though? Did it still taste the same?
It tasted the same, but it was thinner. Chocolate was thinner.
Yeah, I can imagine. I was going to say, those ripples on those Marses make it nice and chunky.
That's right.
That bit of chocolate. And it was the texture, what's inside. But as it's smoother, I can imagine, it probably didn't quite have the same effect.
It was less substantial. It was less substantial to eat,
I can imagine.
Yeah, and I learned the way that it's done is, well, they put the chocolate through it in Roba, which is like a waterfall of chocolate. They put the nougat caramel thing through that. And then they blow air over it as it's drying, and that's what put the ripples in.
Well,
apparently.
They could have offered you that for instead, didn't they? A tour of the factory.
I would have loved a tour of the factory. Yeah, I would have loved a tour of the factory.
That's amazing you picked up on that, because a lot of people, if they'd have got a smooth Mars bar, they probably might not have thought anything of it, just eating it, chucked it away. But you took it that stage further.
Yeah.
Took a photo of it. And look how many people have seen it.
I mean, it's more or less what I did do. I did take the picture, forgot it existed.
Yeah.
And then I shared it, and it went massive, you know. And I've still got people now. It's somebody in Euston Station saying, "Are you the smooth Mars bar guy?"
That's amazing.
It's blown up again. It went up on Lab Bible last week.
And will you be getting like Mars bar merchandise now? Because I can see is it a little necklace.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
You've got a Mars bar necklace here,
but it's the old logo. I deliberately got the old '90s logo, but allegedly, in Australia and I think Africa, they fought to get back. They actually petitioned to get that back. So if you go to those countries, they still have the old logo.
Do you prefer that one? Is that your favourite?
It's the one I remember, yeah.
Have you always liked Mars? Is there like a bit of a backstory with it? Have you always liked that? All that products?
No, I've always thought of it as being a bit of a boring, safe choice chocolate bar. But the day that I got it, I remember eating it and I was thinking, actually, you know what? It is a good chocolate bar. It's a good mix.
Oh, yeah,
it's, you know,
definitely.
What with all of the different chocolate bars out there, you think, well, Mars is a bit plain, but it's not. It's
I've always liked
it's
Mars.
good. Yeah, it's good.
I much prefer the older ones, like years ago, where the really big bars.
Yeah,
they are like fun size Marses now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're nowhere near as big as they were. They're nowhere near as big as they were.
And as for the Dolmens Club, of course, you're a new member of the Dolmens Club.
I've probably been with you about 3 or 4 years now.
Right, boys.
Sorry about that, folks. We just had a members was about to go, weren't they?
You were talking about, I think it was like 1.4 million members when the Mars bar story happened. It's a bit more than that now. And I think not to sort of big up the story, but I think it did bring a lot of traffic onto the Dolmens Club. And it probably brought a lot of traffic onto Mars as well, but they never told me. I bet a lot of people bought Mars bars as a result of it.
Yes.
But,
it's a nice bit of advertising for them, really.
Yeah. But I've probably been a member for the last 4 or 5 years. I'll get onto that. Yeah, so I've probably been a Dolmens Club member for about 4 or 5 years.
Okay,
I do a lot of
you sort of niche things. You knew about the Dolmens Club.
I've got, antique fans in my room, and I've got antique signs and all sorts.
The Dolmens Club, it's a big, like, global online community as
That's
well.
It, yeah.
There's like Facebook page. There's the website as well. And it's just what celebrates the mundane and ordinary aspects of life, doesn't it?
Yeah, and unfortunately my story is actually half in what is now the Banana for Scale and half in what is the Dolmens Club, because I put it in the Dolmens Club with a little trademark symbol, and someone said, this isn't the Dolmens Club, this is the Dolmens Club, so I put it in the other one, which turns out is actually the fake. So if you want to look at my story, it's across both.
Yeah. Dolmens Club. If anyone is checking out the Dolmens Club,
it can.
There are a few different ones about.
It's now called Banana for Scale.
Yeah.
But I didn't discover.
As well.
I didn't discover the club until much later. I discovered the Facebook group, and then the club was much later.
Well, you could follow in our footsteps. You could be anorak of the year next year.
I could, but doing what though? Do you reckon?
I reckon searching for more confectionery or defected confectionery. You could collect it.
Yeah, I could,
You've got a great start to your collection, haven't you? With that Mars.
Instead of boxes of broken biscuits, you could have boxes of broken chocolate bars.
And take the photos of them. And even keep the original wrapper, possibly. So,
yeah. But, I bet we'll go with all my other dull hobbies that I've got, like collecting vintage workwear and stuff.
I think everyone's got like a little a little hobby, haven't they?
A little niche,
hobby or something that they like to celebrate the ordinary with.
That's it, yeah.
So that's good. Well, Harry, excellent story there. We will
Thank
keep
you
an eye
very
on
much.
that one. I love seeing your little framed.
My little frame and a voucher.
And your framed £2 voucher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anyone's got any other newspaper articles that I was in, please feel free to send them to me and I'll get them framed as well.
We will keep a lookout. And keep looking for the
Thank you very much.
confectionery. I think we'll all be looking now, won't we?
Well, you're going to be going to the petrol station now and feeling every single Mars bar on the rack.
Yeah, possibly, yeah. That's an idea. Yeah, because you can actually feel it. You can actually feel that wrapper, couldn't you?
I did buy one, actually, going up to the 2025 Classic Car Show at the NEC.
Right.
And I didn't eat the Mars bar because I'm trying not to eat that sort of thing now. But I thought I'll get a picture going up with it as a sort of a year-on thing. And, of course, it had its ripple. It came from the same petrol station.
Oh, brilliant.
But it had its ripple.
And I reckon that petrol station itself, that could almost be getting famous, couldn't it?
Yeah, so the one who's not getting famous is me. We started the whole living thing.
That petrol station might be having more people coming in trying to find another one, but yeah.
And I tried to do I tried to do another collaboration because do you remember the McDonald's D that kept getting nicked in Leeds?
Yeah.
I was working in Leeds for 3 months back in the summer, and I kept seeing the D come and go at the same time. So I went and got a picture of myself with a Mars bar next to the D, but unfortunately the post never took off, which is a bit of a shame. But
and where do you live, Harry?
I live in Aylesbury in Buckinghamshire.
Well, Aylesbury,
yeah.
Because there's a few people who came from all over today. Tim, we spoke to before, he's from Kent. Near Bromley, isn't it, Tim? And we've got Lee, the founder member, who we'll hopefully get a chat with later. He's in America, and he's got a place in Winchester.
He has,
in the UK, so we've all came from everywhere.
Yeah.
Today, it's great to speak to you, Harry.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you for the chat.
Thank you for your time.
And,
Thank you.
Well, folks, we have a special treat for you now with the last word from Harry about where you could possibly find some future confectionery photos.
So my Instagram is Landyman, which is LANDIE_MAN, because I'm into my old Land Rovers, Landyman, and I use it for my photography and urban exploration and stuff like that as well.
Well, thanks for that, Tim.
Thank you.
I'm looking at Tim. Harry's next to me. Excellent, Harry.
Thank you.
Well, we have a treat now. We have the founder member of the Dullness Club, Roland Carlson.
Grover Click.
Yes. So what's with the names, Lee, with Grover Click?
Where did Grover Click start?
Yeah.
Well, I grew up in a small town in western Nebraska, far from way far from Omaha, Nebraska. Denver, Colorado is a lot closer. And we get a weather forecast from Denver.
Yep.
Weatherman Bowman and KOA Denver. Every morning, people are glued to the radio to see what the weather is going to be. And from time to time, they blame me for getting it wrong.
Right.
And so in high school, we talked, he gets it right sometimes. And so we started writing him letters, congratulating him on getting it right. And read them out on the air. And for these letters, we didn't know who should sign them. And the barber in town, his name was Leo Click.
Okay.
And the farmer out north of town was Grover Cook.
So you took it
So
from
they
there.
called him Grover Click.
That sounds.
And that was kind of funny back then, we thought. In fact, we get a report of alumni now. He's still listed as one of our classes.
And you've kept with that name ever since, haven't you?
Yeah, and it's so fitting for the computer age.
It is. And with the Dullness Club in general, you're the founder member. And when did you start? When did you first start the Dullness
Well, it
Club?
started in we don't know the year exactly. We know it was early 1908 or earlier.
Yeah.
Because the food editor of the New York Times picked he did a roundup at the end of the year of their favorite letters to the year, for the year. Her favorite came from us, from me. Congratulated her on an article she wrote about Velveeta cheese.
Okay.
Velveeta cheese is kind of the blandest, is like vanilla ice cream, or, kind of a really bland cheese. But I said, they were thinking of adding a spicy version to it.
Yep.
We said, no, we didn't like that. But that was her favorite letter. But it started, we were in a club. Are you familiar with things like in the Pall Mall area, the Royal Automobile Club, or the Oxford Cambridge Club, or the East India Club? They used to be all men's club, and now they're co-ed. Well, it started at the New York Athletic Club, and they have a monthly magazine with clubs within the club: boxing, fencing, judo, wrestling. One of the guys at the bar when this magazine came out, he looked at it. We don't do any of those things. So they said, "Yeah, we're kind of dull."
Right.
And somebody else said, "Well, let's form the Dull Men's Club."
And that's where it all began.
Yeah.
And of course, you've got a little hobby yourself with your park benches, haven't you?
I do.
What you like? Do you like take photos of them yourself?
Well, I do, but I came to realize something. I thought I was pretty into park benches. I like them anywhere in the world. I like to sit on a park bench and watch the world going by.
I'll probably say with you, you're a collector of people with hobbies, aren't you?
Well, I thought I was a collector about photos of park benches. But then I got to know people like you or Steve Wheeler with his milk bottles. I'm nowhere into park benches like you in the rubbish bin. A bench is a bench. But I do have a favorite. I don't even know what it's called. I call it a classic, a wood bench with nice sturdy arms.
And often with those benches, you do get a nice bin next to them as well, don't you?
Yeah, sometimes.
I've had some great pictures sent in
of
benches with a nice bin next to it as well. That park bench bin combination, that is a classic photo.
Yeah.
So some great ones back. And of course,
but then I realized, well, if I'm not in the park benches, what am I passionate about? And that's where I collect collectors. I get excited when I meet somebody like you to get to know you and why you do what you do.
You're great at collectors or celebrating the ordinary in people over the years, haven't you? And even with the Dull Men's Club, you have the calendars, the yearly calendars out, which are really good, aren't they? And of course, it's not only for men. Women can join the Dull Men's Club as well, can't they? So if anyone is listening to this, as long as you appreciate dull men, you're welcome to join the Dull Men's Club, aren't you? Yeah. And of course, Lee, well, we were last here, about 18 months ago, I reckon, in this restaurant, Vapiano restaurant, Tottenham Court Road, literally outside the tube station, aren't we? So, and you came from Winchester today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Winchester to join us today. Well, Lee, thanks for that little chat. It's good to speak to the founder member of the Dull Men's Club. And, we will carry on our little Anorak of the Year celebration.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lee.
Send me a copy of that.
Well, folks, we have a real treat for you now. We have the Anorak of the Year for 2024.
Well, 2025.
Yes.
2025, yes. Always the year back, apparently. It's not for the year coming, it's for the year behind.
And I don't think there was a 2024 one.
No, I think we missed out.
22 was me, Dustin Dave. 23, we had Tim Webb with his pothole art. 24, no, we missed that one.
Missed that, so jump to 25.
We are speaking to the 2025 Anorak of the Year.
So I suppose that makes me current Anorak of the Year.
Yes, you are the current Anorak of the Year. And St John Burkett.
Just St John. So St John Burkett.
Well done. Well, that is excellent for your conkers.
Yes.
Well, John, please tell us about your conkers.
Well, what do you want to know about conkers? I can talk for hours about conkers, but basically I help organise the World Conker Championships, and it's, I suppose, a niche event. Some people would say a children's game, but it's the adults take it very seriously.
And of course, the championships themselves are held in Northampton.
In Northamptonshire, near Oundle, a little village called Southwick, so the quintessentially English village.
Yes.
And we're pretty much maxed out on both spectators and players. So if anybody wants to come and join us, they can. Just go on www.worldconkerchampionships.com, and there's a few playing places still remaining. Anybody can come along. Don't need to pre-qualify or anything like that. Just need to get your place before the event.
And what started you on your conker journey? What got you interested?
Oh, well, I suppose,
I've always... At younger age?
Oh, at younger age, yes, used to play. And conkers are such beautiful things to collect, aren't they? So
yes.
I think children tend to do more collecting nowadays than playing, but we still have a few places where children are taught to play and shown how to play.
Yep.
But otherwise, they come along to us and there's a junior competition. The adult competition is the really serious one, though, because it leads to a women's world champion and a men's world champion. The men's event is an open one, so we're inclusive of everybody. And we have a grand final where they play each other at the end, very interestingly.
Definitely, yeah.
And there's been more women's winners than there has open winners over the years, yes.
Are you local to Northamptonshire as well? Do
I am,
you live in that area?
Yeah, about 25 minutes away from the event. And it's an amateur committee that organises and runs it, but they seem very professional, and the event seems very professional when you get there. So it's quite striking. But of course, we have a tremendous knowledge of conkers between us.
I can imagine.
Which I suppose is a bit of a strange thing. It's a very niche and specific interest to have.
Some of the conkers you brought in to show us today, the ones on your hat and your necklace, they are varnished as well, aren't they?
Yeah, the ones on the hat and the necklace are varnished so that they will survive the winter in the attic and the mice don't get them.
Yeah. But
the ones that I brought into play, they're fresh conkers, which we've had frozen. So they've been frozen to this point, otherwise there would obviously be no conkers because they tend to fall from the trees from around September the 30th. And the conker event is always 2 weeks, second Sunday in October.
And have you entered it yourself?
Yes, the best I've ever done. I got to the final one year,
right?
Lost in the final, and I've played in all the other years since, but I've never got to that height since.
So you've obviously been playing a while. Have you got any tips for anyone who's starting out? Or a youngster who might think, I like the sound of this podcast. I'll quite fancy having a game.
Yeah, well, loads of tips really. Depends what rules. The first thing to do is establish the rules. So we have our World Championship rules, which are on the website.
Yep.
But there are plenty of other versions of the sport. So the Peckham Conker Championships have a anything goes rule. Right. So you can have stamps. If you knock the conker out the other person's hand, you can stamp on it and then you win. So that's a bit rough and ready, perhaps for the younger generations.
Yes.
Whereas a bit more spade, and so you have to pick a conker which is on a string. You can only see the string sticking out of the bag, and all the conkers are in the bag. So you pick a string, and then you play with that conker. You can reject one or two, but you play with that conker. 3 hits each.
Yep.
Maximum of 5 minutes, and then you go for a penalty shootout where you take alternate shots at the other conker, up to a maximum of 9, and it's who hits it most times.
Okay, well, I think they're pretty good rules, and I think the time limit.
Yeah.
As well, because you could have a very long match, couldn't you? Possibly.
Oh, you could. You could.
I remember, me and hello Elliot, by the way, and my usual assistant Elliot.
Yeah.
We did a Bonkers for Conkers podcast back in September, and we had a little game. It was his first ever game.
Yeah.
Conkers, like he's 16 now, so he found that fun element.
Yes.
So,
well, it is fun because you don't have to have had an experience. No. So you can just go straight into it. But I do remember going back to my secondary school game days that when we played conkers there, you get these champion conkers and the games can last for days. So they'll continue them the following day. But you don't know what they've done to their conkers.
Exactly.
And so whilst at the World Championships you have to use our conkers, in other games you can treat them however you like. So it might be that you use last year's conker. They're really difficult to break. We've even had people scooping out the middle of a conker and filling it with resin.
Really?
Yeah. God. So nearly impossible. And of course, the previous year, 2024, we had the steel conker issue. And if you haven't seen that, that was national news.
I read about that.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's hard to tell, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the steel conker itself looked exactly like a normal conker.
So obviously you've got to watch out for those. And going back to the old school days with the little tricks as well.
Yeah. Oh yes.
So that's all still going on.
But that's part of it, isn't it? I always say you can either play with the rules like we have at the World Championships, or the joy is what can you get away with? How much can you cheat without the other person complaining? Okay, or finding out.
And that's like a great day out for the family as well, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Oh, absolutely. It's an absolutely brilliant family day out, and there's picnicking and there's stalls and there's all sorts of things going on.
And I reckon all the spectators, they're probably having little mini games of conkers as well.
Oh yes, they do. Yeah. We sell conkers and strings. They tend to get sold out almost straight away. That's the only thing. We just cannot drill enough and sell the strings to go with them.
Well, that sounds absolutely amazing.
Yep.
I'm sure anyone listening to this, they can be looking for those conkers.
Absolutely.
And hopefully starting it up.
Yeah.
Getting the young generation coming through.
Yeah, it's one of the last seasonal events that's left.
Yes.
You know, you can't go to Tesco's and buy your conkers in March. You have to pick them up yourself in the beginning of October.
Yeah. And that's a lovely time of year as well when the autumn, isn't it? You've got like when you're leading up, when your leaves are just start to fall off, you've got Halloween, build up to Christmas
Yep.
and all the conkers.
Yeah.
It's a good sign. It takes you back as well. It's very nostalgic.
Very much so, and lots of
Time,
people
isn't it?
find that. I think that's why some people
So-
come to play.
Yeah.
Takes them back to their childhood.
That's right.
Some of them like to show their children what it was this
Yeah.
game that they've talked about.
And teaching them that first game of conkers as well.
Yeah,
They
and we had
haven't
them.
ever played before.
Well, we had Prince Louis, who his mum, Kate, of course, reported that he was collecting conkers and putting them in his toy dumper trucks and things at home. And so we wrote to him and said, would you like to be patron of the World Conker Championships?
Yep.
And although we were eventually turned down, it made a lot of the press. And I have to say, I was very greatly honoured to be mentioned in the same paragraph as Kate in Cosmopolitan.
Cool. Well,
Yeah.
can't get much better than that, can it? Well, that is absolutely a great story there. And yeah, as you say, we could literally talk for hours about conkers.
Absolutely.
Well, all of us with all our subjects, really.
Yeah,
We can
yeah.
talk about it. But and ultimately, what does it mean to win Anorak of the Year?
Oh, what an honour,
big
eh? What an honour.
Accolade to win.
Yeah,
There was someone from the Times here as well today.
there was.
wasn't there?
Yeah, already been in The Guardian.
Yeah, so your picture
Yeah.
will be about.
Absolutely. I mean, MBEs, 10 a penny, aren't they? Lots of people get MBEs.
Right, definitely.
But it's only one of us that's Anorak of the Year at a time. And as you can see, there's very few that there's ever been.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and of course, you were in the 2025 calendar.
Yes. Yeah. as
I
well.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember switching over to September, October,
Yeah.
and seeing you in there.
Yeah.
And I heard you won Anorak of the Year sort of a couple of months ago, maybe, or
Yes,
around that
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
time. So yes, but anyway, yeah. Well, thank you very much for talking to
Okay,
us
brilliant.
today. Congratulations on your win.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, there you go, folks. 4 members of the Dullmen's Club on this podcast, all live at Vapiano Restaurant in Tottenham Court Road. So, thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed listening to us all talking as dull as possible. And we'll see you next time on Everyday Life Podcast. Goodbye.